Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Monday the 30th of August 2021. And we're producing our gold and silver morning update and price forecast. Gold and silver rose initially this morning and then fell back. We seem to be in a state of price indecision. So let's take a look at some of the influences which may help determine their direction moving forward. Welcome and good morning. For those in the United Kingdom, a bank holiday morning. It's Monday 30th of August at 10:05 a.m. GMT +1. Weather outside not looking very promising. However, the clouds may be hiding some sunshine yet to come. Who knows? But there's not much sunshine in the news today. Taliban condemn US drone strike, Afghanistan update. US will keep striking Afghan ISIS targets. But perhaps looking more so on financials, something to perhaps give us all heart. First of all, stocks futures steady on dovish Powell's stance, markets wrap. Stocks in Europe and US futures were steady on Monday. Obviously, they cannot include UK because the market is closed, bolstered by Jerome Powell's signal that pandemic-era Federal Reserve policy support will be withdrawn cautiously and gradually. And we covered this on both our updates on Saturday and Sunday. We'll take a quick look at those later on. Contracts on the S&P 500 were little changed, and those on the Nasdaq 100 edged higher after a record Wall Street close in the wake of Chair Powell's Jackson Hole speech, while the Stoxx Europe 600 index hovered close to an all-time high. Powell said the Fed may start paring bond purchases this year, but is in no hurry to raise interest rates and will be guided by data on COVID-19 risks. So there we go, dovish tones, but this is the part that may perhaps ignite us. And it was quite disheartening because we published two very similar videos on the weekend on gold, and so few people actually watched or listened to it. Mobius says, hold 10% in gold as currencies will be devalued. We're always ahead of the news. Veteran investor Mark Mobius said investors should have 10% of a portfolio in gold, as currencies will be devalued following the unprecedented stimulus rolled out to fight the coronavirus pandemic. At this stage, now wait for this, 10% should be put into physical gold, said Mobius, who set up Mobius Capital Partners after more than 3 decades at Franklin Templeton Investments. Currency devaluation globally is going to be quite significant next year, given the incredible amount of money supply that has been printed. Now notice what he's saying. Next year, not this week, this month, or even this year, but next year. Bullion rallied to a record last year as the coronavirus pandemic spurred a flight to haven assets, but it's pulled back since with the rollout of vaccines. To fight the crisis, central banks and governments worldwide have unleashed an unprecedented wave of monetary and fiscal stimulus, boosting balance sheets at the Federal Reserve and elsewhere, and straining state finances. It's going to be very, very good to have physical gold that you can access immediately without the danger of government confiscating all the gold. Mobius, a long-time fan of the metal, said in an interview. Now, if you're a gold cynic, you will look at his picture and say, he's an old man. Old people buy gold, young people buy crypto. And that is the trend. There's no doubt about it. You cannot deny the fact young people are buying crypto. Older people buy gold, or at least those that can afford it. And of course, those who perhaps believe silver have a better future, or who perhaps cannot quite afford gold, will buy silver too, though we know most of our listeners will hold both. Gold goes up in the main, so will silver. And if gold goes down in the main, so will silver. This is very positive news and maybe the start of perhaps media coverage on the precious metals to come, particularly as cryptos seem to be hogging the headlines at the moment, but many envisage a sharp correction in the cryptocurrency market in the months ahead. Let's have a look at what's going on business-wise. Give UK workers 4 more bank holidays, say the Trade Union Congress. The TUC is one of the major unions in the United Kingdom, and they want us all to have more holidays. Public holidays in England and Wales is stingy, they claim. They better go to America and see how little people get there. They may change their minds. 7 countries go green as UK travel rules change. One that's really affecting us, suit you sir, not anymore at some Marks and Spencer's stores. The retailer no longer sells men's suits at more than half of its large stores, as tastes turn casual. The day of the suit could be over, and that will be a tragedy, in our view, to gentlemen's apparel. But then, we're not youngsters. Calls for action on lorry driver dearth. Hire Britons to drive lorries, minister tells firms, because we've had a shortage of lorry drivers. And of course, as mentioned earlier, US Fed hints it will start easing stimulus. In the United Kingdom, Hurricane Ida or Ida, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it. Ida, I would pronounce it, but it could be Ida, strikes. This is 150-mile-per-hour winds in Louisiana. Lou Grant, great actor. No idea what he's like as an individual, but as an actor, great actor, dies aged 91. And something to give us a little bit of heart. Mother fights off mountain lion attacking her son. She hit the animal with her bare hands as it attacked the 5-year-old at their home in California. Let's have a look at the financials. Dollar, up marginally this morning, 92.69. Fair chunk below the 93 we saw earlier last week. Will it return? We suspect it might. It's just suffering from Jerome Powell's statement on Friday. Energy prices actually down slightly. WTI crude down 77 cents and Brent crude down 51. Stock markets, well, we reported this in our weekly update. All of the American markets up, and quite decisively. Asia Pacific overnight, broadly up between 0.5% and 1%. And UK markets closed, so though that movement is what happened on Friday. But for the Euro stocks, the DAX, the CAC, they're up broadly about 0.25%. Market data coming out today. We have pending home sales for July. May have an impact. We don't think it'll have a significant impact, but may have a slight impact on prices. What's happening to gold? Gold this morning down $2.92. Was down, I think, a few dollars more. Yes, it was down $18.13 at one point. Another $2 lower. But it has been as high as $18.23. Look at this chart. It's spiked up. We said on the weekend, don't be surprised if there is an initial follow-through. Though we're very bullish gold, we're still not totally convinced it's going to go to these 1900 levels, to be quite candid with you. And the fact that it's fallen back may actually be a little bit disconcerting, but we are only first thing on a Monday morning. Silver prices, I'm going to refresh the page slightly. Silver prices unchanged. We're up, like gold, as high today as 24.23, so 23 cents higher than it is now, but also 6 cents lower than it is now at its base, and is recovering a little here. So it's broadly unchanged on Friday's close. Cryptocurrency market taking a small hit this morning, down 0.68% as a whole, still holding well above that $2 trillion level. September is notoriously a poor month for cryptocurrencies, so we may see that market cap fall below 2 trillion, but then generally towards the end of the year and the beginning of the new year, you get a mini bull market, and many believe will be the final stage. In other words, the blow-off top of the rise that cryptos have encountered of late. We shall see if that's the case. We're going to keep this video as quick and short as we can. Just to let you know, we produced over the weekend 5 videos. Gold and silver weekly update and 3 reasons why gold is not rising as it should. We're going to place links to all of these in the description box below. And then a very important video. It's a contrarian one. It's supporting an article that we read. Silver prices break out or break down, where there is the suggestion. And we're not saying this is going to happen, but you should always look at both sides of the coin, the two sides of the equation, where silver could, theoretically, be heading for $13. We don't think it'll go that low, quite frankly, if it does fall. But that said, it's worth listening to that if you don't listen to any other video. Not because we're trying to create fear, but just to gain perspective. Because all of the mooners were out of the last week telling us it's going to the moon, it's going to the moon. We want you to have your feet firmly on the ground, not your head in the air. Gold and silver rockets on Friday, more to come next week, and why gold and silver prices are not higher. The why gold and silver prices aren't higher is the same video broadly as the 3 reasons. We just put it out under a different thumbnail. We got, and that was late last night, and we've got almost as many views on that as the one that we put out on Saturday. That's it for now. Have a great day, everyone. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, press the bell sign. Until our next video, enjoy. Illuminati silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.